If you're a founder or someone who's working in a B2B SaaS business in the sales team, you'll know how difficult it is to create an outbound sales strategy that actually converts into new clients. If you're a new venture, finding your first clients can be extremely difficult. It's one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons why startups fail. What I'm going to do in this video today is share with you my journey on how I created a B2B SaaS outbound sales strategy for a startup that had a high ticket price that ranged from $25,000 per month MRR to $45,000 per month. And it helped me actually close multi-million-dollar deals. This journey has taken a long time for me to be able to put into words. I started in the industry in 2015, coming out of a sales background for more than 20 years. Just to give you some context, back in 2015, large global enterprise had mostly a no cloud policy. And what I was selling at the time was a SaaS-based engineering drawing management system for large utility organizations like water utilities, power utilities, also mining organizations and healthcare and things like that. So to make matters worse, our major competitors were the likes of SAP and Autodesk and other large document management systems. So entering that marketplace with a no cloud policy against major competitors was really, really difficult. But at the end of the day, I was thankful to be given that opportunity because it allowed me to really fundamentally look at how sales should be conducted in today's world, where our buyers are far more sophisticated, have far greater access to information, and can make decisions or largely make decisions without the input of a salesperson, which has changed significantly in the last 20 years. So what I'm going to share with you is a step-by-step journey on what I went on over the course of about 8 years. It has actually led me to leave my role as an enterprise salesperson and start consulting firm to help B2B businesses, founders and their teams create a sales and lead generation strategy, because this is such a systemic problem out there in industry. So my name's Gavin Tai. I'll be releasing regular content on this topic. So if you would like to like this video and subscribe and be notified if this resonates with you, because I think this is something everyone needs to learn and relook at. And the literature out there is not necessarily correct anymore. So one more thing, if you watch to the end, I'll share with you how you can download a book that I wrote called Startup Sales Secrets. It'll help you be able to implement a sales strategy within your business based off 3 core first principles. So let's get into it. Now, this video today is not about scaling your outbound sales strategy. It was about how I found the right sales strategy for the business that I was in. And you'll be able to take lessons from it and apply it to your own business. And once you find the right sales strategy, then you can begin to scale it. Most people scale too quickly and they lose the feedback from the market, that valuable feedback, and they're just doing things without actually aiming for an outcome. So when I first come into this business, it was a startup based in Australia. I really needed to understand the value that the market would receive from the service that we were offering, an engineering drawing management solution. Not the product itself, but what they would receive by implementing that product. Now, when it comes to B2B businesses, basically there are 3 main drivers that I have found that will help someone make a decision. It's obviously revenue based, if you help them produce revenue, or if it's an operational cost reduction, or if it's a risk reduction exercise. So in the case of what I was selling, it wasn't necessarily revenue generating, but it did reduce a significant amount of costs within their business and take out a significant amount of risk within their business. Now, another thing I wanted to do is understand those outcomes, because competing against the Autodesks of the world, they are one of the biggest software companies in the world. They are far more feature rich than we would be as a startup. So I had to focus on the outcomes that they couldn't help them achieve. And typically with B2B SaaS businesses, it's ease of use, better control, more transparency, and entering data at the source. That was the main value propositions that we were focusing on. And I knew that companies like Autodesk couldn't compete. One thing I needed to understand is, and learn and frame, is how our value proposition changed as a market went through its cycles, from a growth period down into a trough, through recession, things like that. Because not every market is equal. Some markets fluctuate a lot and other markets are more stable. But to enter potentially different markets, to find the right outbound sales strategy, I needed to be able to craft a message dependent on the cycle that the market was in at the time. So once I had all this information, the second thing I did was create a list of 7 or 8 different markets we could enter. To give you some context, we originally started in the mining industry, but that went into a bit of a recession, so we had to explore other industries. So we looked at water, power, healthcare, oil and gas, government, all those type of industries. So what we did is we classified them with some key criteria, and then we scored what we thought our hypothesis would be as to whether we should pursue that. Then what I did was formed an hypothesis of what our ideal client profile would look like, and then set out to see if that ideal client profile would change as we entered new markets. And if so, how would it change? And also, would our ideal client profile change if we went up or down tiers in that market? And also geographies. So the right sales strategy will help you transcend those variables, the up and down of the tiers, the different markets, and the different geographies as well. Now, once we created the list and the ideal client profiles and the buying personas inside those industries, we set out to craft a message based on the business cycle that market was in. Now, there are more than 20 different lead generation strategies that we could have applied to those industries. And if you have a look in the comments below and in the description, I'll actually have a link to a document of those 20 different lead generation strategies. But in this context, what I tried was cold email, cold calling, conferences, and even advertising into certain publications if an industry was more receptive to that, just to see if we got any traction. So after a series of tests into different markets, we quickly saw that of those 7 or 8 industries, 2 or 3 started bubbling to the top really quickly. And one market that we thought that might be receptive was actually went to the bottom of the list. So we ended up going, we'll focus on the electrical industry, power utilities, and water utilities, and a bit of mining and oil and gas after that, and transportation and things. So we quickly ordered those. So we prioritized our effort to the market that was receptive to our message. Once I started getting traction, I began to realize it's very difficult to create a sales process and help an organization or ask a large utility or large B2B business to go through those steps with me, because they're the ones that really determine the stages that they go through. There was one common thread in all businesses that I found, and that's the decision-making criteria or the mindset that they go through in order to get to a purchasing decision. And that's the same for a large enterprise or down to a B2B business that may only have 1 or 2 people within that business, although it's less formal and more informal. So what I did is I created a sales process that was around those stages, around helping them define their business case or quantify the current problems within their business. Now, we have to remember, a sale is like a journey, and a journey has a beginning or an origin and a destination, and how we help them get to the destination is the product that we sell and the process that they go through in order to purchase. So one thing that I learned, and as a B2B SaaS business, I would recommend to you, is helping your potential clients measure the current state of their business. And then you can demonstrate the return on investment by implementing your product, and the delta is the ROI. And once I learned that through trial and error over many years, I was able to form a sales process or a strategy to help close clients consistently in a shorter period of time. Now, since leaving my day job and working with multiple clients, this is working over and over again to companies that have had a lack of traction, and now they're starting to see clients come through by following an outbound strategy based on 3 core first principles. Now, I'll give you a quick case study of how this all comes together. In November of one year, it was roughly 2019, I reached out to this large power transmission company in the country of New Zealand. I knew what they were interested in. That industry was interested in digital engineering and the future of digital twins. So we started engaging with them on that topic. And then once they were interested in that topic, we talked about the engineering drawing management and how you needed to get your house in order first. And these are the steps you need to go through in order to get to that outcome. During the course of 12 months, I gave them a series of tools and worked with them with a series of workshops to help them quantify their current state within their business, to make it impossible for them to stay in that current state anymore because it was costing too much money, presenting too much risk for that business. Once they were satisfied they couldn't stay in that state anymore, then I showed them how to implement our product. And within 12 months, I was able to close a $3.5 million deal with the revenue that we quoted in one of the very first meetings, because I spent the time to show them how big that problem was. And we didn't have to negotiate with a large government organization during the procurement process because they could see the value. And that is really critical in devising the right outbound sales strategy. I'd be interested in the comments below. How are you bringing your B2B clients through their sales process? Are you leading them or are they leading you? I'd love to hear your comments below. Now, the single biggest lesson that I've learned in selling B2B in the last 8 years is as soon as we sell, we lose. Because we're engaging with our potential clients mostly online, especially since COVID, as soon as we push too hard, our potential clients can disengage easily and just not take our call. No one likes to be sold to. So instead, I have learned that I need to help them through their stages and provide value at every stage that they will keep coming back because it makes their life easier, with the eventual payoff of them implementing our solution. And I would recommend you do that for yourself in your business. We need to help first and then we'll get paid second. Now, I have a book called Startup Sales Secrets. It's in the description and also in the comments below. Check it out. It will help you formulate a sales strategy. And if you're also having challenges in this space, feel free, you can find my contact details down below as well. Set up a 30-minute call and I'll see if I can point you in a direction or unblock some of the challenges you have in your sales process. And finally, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll be releasing some more content on this topic regularly, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot. See you later.